When you pay 25 cents at the Walmart, but you have to pay $1.99 at the Goodwill.
I ain't gonna do it.
Not gonna happen.
So I decided to ask her, like, why did you do that? Like, I don't really understand. Like, why did the price change? And she goes, oh, the pricing team doesn't know brands. So I'm encouraged to change the price at the checkout if it's a reputable brand.
And he was like, no, like, we're sending it off to headquarters, like, to be sold. I was like, headquarters? Like, what do you mean? And he was like, yeah, like, you know, like if we ever get like designer bags or like really nice jewelry, we just send it off to sell it online.
And this is why I talk about things like this, because if you are trying to do good and trying to help people in need, please do not donate your items to Goodwill anymore.
Have you stepped foot inside a Goodwill recently? If you have, you were probably sticker shocked at their outrageous prices. Goodwill used to be a place people could shop if they couldn't afford prices at regular stores or were down on their luck, but they have now priced out their very own customers the store was originally intended to serve. Did you know that Goodwill sells actual trash to its customers? Yes, you heard that right.
Empty wine bottle, $7. That's wild.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this.
That's crazy.
Oh, I need one of these. You know, Goodwill, it's $3. It's used.
Why Goodwill thought it would be appropriate to charge $500 for this guitar, especially because they got the guitar for completely free.
Of scrapbook paper. Guess how much it is? $50.
What do you do in situations like this? The boxes are priced at $1.99. The lids are priced separately at 99 cents.
It's already burned. $1. Discount though, halfway f***ing gone. $3.45.
The pickle jar and pine cone is diabolical. That wine was probably $7. I'm sorry, but the turtle shell is just wrong. Was that a real turtle shell or a fake one? I have a lot of questions. And the real kicker is when you see an original price tag on an item at Goodwill and then you see Goodwill's price tag and it's more expensive. Yeah, tell me how that makes any sense.
When you pay 25 cents at the Walmart, but you have to pay $1.99 at the Goodwill.
I ain't gonna do it.
Not gonna happen.
$2.98. Guess how much they're selling it for? $4.99.
$1 originally, now on sale for $2.49.
And these my girlfriend donated last week. Look at that, $60? That's ridiculous.
Are y'all serious? These were donated for free. Y'all a funky ass boo.
Used eyeshadow for $6. They want $5 for it. It's literally like empty.
Are you serious?
The top comment says, stop shopping at Greedwill. That's the running joke online now. It's not called Goodwill anymore since they seem to be missing a lot of that, but it's now called Greedwill.
2 months ago, I was in this Goodwill and there was 4 of these chairs. I only ended up buying 2 of them. Left these 2 behind because they were just in like really bad condition. They were marked $5.99. And get this, not only are these still here, they increased the price. They're no longer $5.99, they're $9.99.
So if something doesn't sell for ages, their bright idea is to increase the price. I remember when the Goodwill was for people that were low income. You really felt like you were getting a bargain and spent within your budget. Unfortunately, those days are long gone. There's a bar stool I wanted, $49.99. $50 for a used bar stool. That's so when they mark them down on half off day, everybody thinks they're getting a deal and Goodwill is still getting what they wanted originally. That's what my mom always says about sales. She says if something is 50% off today, that's because they increased the price by 50% yesterday. Oddly enough, the price I see when I find something at Goodwill never ends up being the same price at checkout, which brings us to our next clip.
Please let me know if this has happened to anybody else at a Goodwill, or like if they're allowed to do this. I popped into a Goodwill today to try to find some wall art because I'm trying to make a gallery wall in my new place. And when I was looking at the art, they wheeled out a cart with a bunch of new stuff. And in the cart, they had a Lululemon belt bag. Nothing special, just like a pink one that was like mildly used. And I knew my mom wanted one, so I was like, oh great, this is a great opportunity to get one. It's in great condition, whatever. So I picked it up. It had like a $5.99 price tag. I was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And when I got to the register, the lady at the register looked at it and said, oh, I gotta reprice this. And before I could even ask, she like ran to the back. And I was like, okay, maybe it's a couple dollars off, whatever. But weird because it has a price tag. It's not like it didn't have a price tag and it needed to be repriced. She comes back after like 5 minutes and repriced the belt bag at like $21.99, which for context, a regular new belt bag is like $25 nowadays. So I was like, what? Like, why did you do that? So then I was like, okay, actually, I don't really want that because I'm not going to pay $20 for this used Lululemon belt bag that you just changed the price of in front of me. And I'm all about helping and like rounding up every time I go to Goodwill and all these different things or any thrift store. But like, that's insane. So I decided to ask her, like, why did you do that? Like, I don't really understand. Like, why did the price change? And she goes, oh, the pricing team doesn't know brands. So I'm encouraged to change the price at the checkout if it's a reputable brand. And I was like, that's kind of odd considering it had a price already. And I feel like that you're not supposed to do that. But I was like, I'm not going to fight on this. She was like, you can talk to my supervisor if you want. I was like, I don't have the energy to put into this belt bag. If somebody wants to buy it for $20, like whatever, but that's actually insane. And then I walked away from the register, bought my stuff, whatever. Then I watched her like hand it off to another employee and they were like talking and like excited about it. And then she took it to the back office, like this other employee, like didn't put it back out, just like looked at it, examined it, and then took it to the back office to like keep, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it was a way to get me not to buy it because she really wanted a belt bag. I don't really know. But the principle of it is kind of crazy that they can just change the price at the register because it's a quote-unquote reputable brand and the pricing team already had priced it at $5.99. I've heard about issues with pricing at Goodwill and such, but like this was a first that they changed the price at the register like that. I don't know. It's a sign that I just need to stick to my local thrift stores like I've been trying to. But yeah, let me know if that's ever happened to anybody because that was really weird.
Top comment says she definitely wanted it for herself. I'm a retail manager and that is so illegal. Goodwill ex-employee, they aren't allowed to do that. The only time that's done is if they think you changed the price. Also, the roundups are a scam. Say no. They cannot reprice things at any store. They have to sell it at the price that it's at. Otherwise, it's illegal. I would have gotten her manager. The creator responded back. The funny part was the manager excitedly came out of the office as I was gathering my stuff and took the bag to her office. I thought she was coming to help. So you can't even depend on the Goodwill managers to come and help you when stuff like this happens. Great. Goodwill, Savers, all these places are so bold when they get all their stuff for free. I feel like the prices at Goodwill are almost as much as these buy-sell-trade places that are a little bit more trendy, but at least these buy-sell-trade places like Plato's Closet actually buy their clothes from their customers and then resell them at a markup, unlike Goodwill who gets their stuff for literally free. Thank you to Built for sponsoring today's video. I don't know about you, but if I'm earning points on something, I want to be able to actually use them for things I would already be buying anyway. That's one of the reasons I like Built. It's a loyalty program built for your home that lets you earn points on your rent and mortgage payments. And then you can redeem those points for things like flights, hotels, Amazon.com purchases, Lyft rides, fitness classes, gift cards, and so much more. If you're new to Built, my biggest recommendation is to download the app, link your cards, and chat with the concierge tool to find the best benefits in your neighborhood. I love to travel, which, as great as it is, can get expensive, so that's where I get the most value. Built also partners with over 50,000 local businesses, so members can unlock exclusive benefits at places they already frequent. It's free to join, so if you're already paying a rent or mortgage payment every month, it's definitely worth checking out. If you'd like to sign up, you can start earning Built points on your rent or mortgage payments if you use the link in my description or the QR code on screen right over here. And make sure to use my URL so they know that I sent you. Thanks again to Built for sponsoring today's video.
They're done. Canceled. Has anybody checked out their local Goodwill recently? Because you can get a broken broom for $10 with stickers on it. $10. If you needed a cot tent because you have nowhere to sleep, don't worry, $200. If you could afford that, you would buy a house. I thought this hanging chair would be nice. It's $50. New, it's $100. At first look, you might be like, wow, this is really cool. But I thought this was glass, but it's just plastic. $50. Pretty sure that's up. Oh, $55. How about this plastic chair? $20. Wood. $10. We didn't even put a price tag on it. We're just gonna sell it for what TJ Maxx is selling it for. They really thought this was pure gold, something worth it. It's not even intact, but it's $10. Guess the price. Dollar store? No, $4. $10. Opened crayons. Used, to be exact, $6. $6. Okay, sorry, we're done shopping at Goodwill.
Nothing in Goodwill should be over $5. Nothing. Can we all collectively stop donating to Goodwill? And we will get to that later, but people are getting fed up with Goodwill's antics and are no longer donating there. And mind you, it's all donated, so the profit is 100%. And if that doesn't piss you off, Goodwill is a nonprofit and they don't pay any taxes. Now we are going to dig a little bit into Goodwill's tax filings. Now, as we just said, Goodwill is a nonprofit, so they don't pay any taxes, but they do have to file an informational return. And I used to be an accountant, you guys, so yes, we are about to pull up their Form 990 from 2025. And we're going to scroll down to Part 7, Compensation of Officers, Directors, and Highest Compensated Employees, and we are going to look at their salaries. Just brace yourself because reminder, they get everything for free. The CEO, Stephen Preston, is making $715,000 per year. The Chief Operating Officer is making almost $500K a year. The Chief Marketing Officer, almost $400K a year. Chief Mission Officer, $350,000 per year, and the list keeps going on. We talk about C-suite pay on this channel a lot and how insane it is that these people make millions of dollars. But if you are the CEO of a nonprofit, why do you have to make $750,000 per year? Off of free goods, donated items. Make it make sense. Another thing Goodwill does is they send all of their great brand name items and things that they think are valuable to their auction site. So if you feel like the stores around you are picked through and don't really have anything of value, that's because all the good stuff is online.
Oh my God, this is so true. Did you guys know that the last normie job I ever had 5 years ago was at Goodwill Industries and I was a cashier? And because I was competent enough, they quickly moved me to the back to processing where I would match the shoes, clean the shoes, price the shoes, all that stuff. And so basically it's just all these totes of items that are organized and you are trained to pull out anything that's designer or anything that could be worth super value, like vintage quilts or like anything designer. And that all gets put on a Goodwill website. I don't know if they still run it the same way, but before we were trained, we would pull it would get added to the website and people bid on them. These are all items that they are getting for free. So it was just like, they're getting as much money as possible. So my theory is, if you are a cool girl and you see a cool pair of shoes, don't price those things at $50. Don't price Doc Martens at $50. You know better. What are they giving you?
I just heard some very interesting tea at Goodwill. So I was just doing my thing, like shopping around, and all of a sudden, one of the employees sort of started panicking. And she was like, "Where's the Supreme hoodie? Where's the Supreme hoodie? Like, you weren't supposed to put that out," to her coworker. And he, of course, was like, "Well, I didn't put it out." And she was like, "Yeah, like the Supreme hoodie and the 2 Bape shirts, like those were not supposed to be put out. Like, where are they? We have to find them because now they're on the floor and they were supposed to be sent out." And in my head, I was like, sent out? Like, what do you mean sent out? So then all of a sudden, a bunch of employees are trying to find these like missing goods, and my curiosity got the best of me. So finally, like, I just asked one of them. I was like, "Where are you sending the Supreme hoodie?" And he said, "Oh, like we're sending it off." I was like, "You're sending it off like to the showcase?" Because I go to this Goodwill all the time and they have like a showcase where they put nicer things. And he was like, no, like we're sending it off to headquarters, like to be sold." I was like, "Headquarters? Like, what do you mean?" And he was like, "Yeah, like, like if we ever get like designer bags or like really nice jewelry, we just send it off to sell it online." So I automatically am like, "What about the stuff that you're marking up in the showcase?" Because they always have good shit in the showcase. And he was like, "Oh, well, like, if it's like lower end stuff, like it might be real, but like anytime you see something designer and they're like, it's fake. It's fake. The designer stuff in the showcase is marked at like 50, 60, 70 bucks. So in my head, I'm like, let me get this straight. Every single thing that Goodwill is receiving is free. It is a donation. They are taking the expensive designer pieces, sending them off, so not even the consumer can get them, but sending them off to be resold online. And then you're marking up the prices of things that you either cannot confirm are real or know for a fact are fake. That's crazy to me. And this same location, again, I go here all the time, recently marked up all of their prices. Like a long sleeve used to be, I think, $7.99, and today when I went in, it was $12.99. And I was like, I was in here 2 days ago and you marked it up that much. So I don't know what to do with this information because I'm a big thrifter. I'm an avid goer to Goodwill, and now I just feel like pissed.
So people hate resellers that go to these thrift stores, buy products at a lower price, and resell them online. But Goodwill is literally a reseller themselves. These are all the reasons I stopped even donating to Goodwill. I miss the Goodwill of my childhood where everything was super affordable. I work at Goodwill. They send high-end items to e-com. It's our online selling website, kind of like eBay. Donate to mom and pop thrift stores only. Meanwhile, their CEO makes close to $700,000 annually, and as we confirmed, it's over $700,000. Now, this next clip is really heartbreaking. It's the way that Goodwill treats their disabled employees, and if you're not mad yet, you will be now.
CEO of Goodwill in Houston makes about $700K a year. CEO for the Florida area is over $800K. Goodwill Industries of Central Arizona, $700K. That's all happening while Goodwill is using a Great Depression era loophole to pay their disabled workers under $1 an hour. According to the government, you can pay people below minimum wage if you have a certificate. Goodwill has 10 of them and pays some employees as little as 22 cents. Also been busted for selling used items for more than they retail for. This woman who found a $50 dress there, which actually retailed for $30. Some of Goodwill's services are job training and scholarships, and this is from North Carolina, but they gave $23,000 in scholarships to their employees, 4,000 of which went to a VP who's already making over 200 grand. People donate clothes and money to Goodwill because they think it's going to help people. And it does a bit, but so much of it goes to helping the people at the top that it kind of destroys the entire point.
So yeah, Goodwill isn't really doing any good. In fact, they're doing a lot of harm to our community.
$2.49 for empty water bottle, and then there's even another one.
Store price was $6.99. Goodwill price $14.99.
They seem nice, glass jars, for $2.99. At Dollar Tree, they literally sell these for $1.25.
This one is $24.99. But then there is the exact same tea kettle in the exact same condition for $7.99.
Oh, I can't believe it. I am shocked. $8 for an empty can of Pringles. What do you think about it?
I thought I just hit the jackpot at Goodwill. Do you see this? It looks new on the inside. I couldn't find the price. I was looking all around it. This can air boil, air fry, roast, reheat, etc. I couldn't find the freaking price though. I looked at the back. $79? $79? That must be a misprint. I'm about to go look up how much these cost. Hold on. That's a Ninja Foodie. It took me 2 seconds to look it up. It's only $100. $100 new? And I saw this, right? Martha Stewart strawberry. Cute. I think the mistake that was made is the price tag was left on this. So I was like, okay, 25, maybe it'll be like $5, $7. 16? Because at that point, I'd rather just buy the Ninja Foodie new, and I probably would get a warranty or something. I was really interested in trying it. I don't have anything from Ninja. Oh, I have one thing. I have a blender. I don't know. I was going to go thrifting for 3 hours today. That makes me just want to go home. Why would I even go out?
Someone commented, "Girl, I have this one. We got it at Costco on sale for like $65. That's crazy." Thrift stores are wild, not even useful anymore. Goodwill has literally lost their minds. $100 new or $70 used, I'm getting new. I rarely trust secondhand, and too close to retail price is even more suspicious to me. Unless there's a plug at the store, you also can't plug it in to verify that it works. And like she said, she could just get a new one with the warranty for $20 more. That is why I give things for free on Facebook instead of Goodwill, and many other people online are deciding to no longer donate or shop at Goodwill.
I stopped donating to Goodwill, and instead I give everything to my local Buy Nothing group now. The reason is because Goodwill's prices are ridiculous, and I'm not gonna feed that machine. Like, what do you mean a used Old Navy shirt is $12.99? You can get a brand new one on sale for like $8. So this is stuff I was gonna give away for free to Goodwill, and I just post it on my Buy Nothing group. It's a Facebook page of people within like a 3 or 4 mile radius of my house. I post it on there. They get it for free. I don't have to have this middleman Goodwill overcharging people for used things they got for free. My neighbors get something for free. I'm happy it's gone, and it is perfecto.
Did you know that Goodwill will take a Dollar Tree item, such as a bowl or a cup, and double or triple the price? I have known people that go into Goodwill and they will find an item with the Dollar Tree tag on it. So say a bowl that someone bought for $1, and Goodwill will put $2 or $3 on it. And this is why I talk about things like this, because if you are trying to do good and trying to help people in need, please do not donate your items to Goodwill anymore. What you should be doing is finding a local charity that doesn't overprice used items, such as a charity for veterans, a church, a women's shelter, a men's shelter. And local thrift stores are usually better at this as well. Your local thrift stores are usually ran by volunteers, so these volunteers are there to do good by people. They are not like Goodwill, who is a greedy corporation trying to overcharge people that are actually in need of cheaper clothes. You have single moms that can no longer go to Goodwill to clothe their children because Goodwill is now more expensive than places such as Walmart. Ladies, it is probably cheaper to go to Ross or TJ Maxx to get good quality new clothes than it is to go to Goodwill to get used clothes that have stains on it. So remember that the next time you donate to Goodwill or you shop there.
And I understand that labor costs might have gone up, rent and utilities may have increased. However, even after considering all these things, does that justify them selling things for above retail price? I went into Goodwill the other day just out of pure curiosity, and I saw this shirt from Shein for $6.99. Shein, fast fashion straight from China, going for $6.99, and it's used and they got it for free. And I was thinking Shein probably sold this new originally for $6.99, but I went to Shein's website and I found this exact shirt, at least one that looks just like it if it's not an exact match, and it's going for $8.79. In what world does any of this make sense? Goodwill has entirely lost the plot. I am not going to be donating there anymore or shopping there. I am done with them. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below a dog emoji so I know you watched the whole thing. And if you don't want to wait for my next upload, you can go ahead and check out this video right here on the screen. But thank you guys again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.